NBC 15 News at 11 starts now.
I've had a wonderful life. I've had thousands of friends, and I've had an exciting and adventurous and gratifying existence. So I was surprisingly at ease, much more so.
Now at 11, former President Jimmy Carter opens up about the cancer that has spread through his body. Plus, why a decision by Governor Walker will cost the state of Wisconsin $10 million payable to a company in Spain. And we'll tell you the one thing you can do to put your gal at ease on a first date. Hello and good morning. I'm Christine Belport. Ashley is off. Well, certainly a fall-like start to our day today. Some places even seeing rain. Brian joins us now with more on how the rest of the day will turn out. Hey, Brian.
Hey, Christine. I think the end of the day will be better than what we're seeing right now, which is pretty cool and damp out there. We are starting to see a little bit of sunshine, though, in our far southwestern counties, including down through Grant and Lafayette, while the rest of the area is seeing mainly cloudy skies and, yeah, even some drizzle from time to time as well, enough to have to hit those windshield wipers a few times if you're heading out on the roadways. Temperatures on the cool side, only 57 degrees in Madison. It's actually the cool spot across southern Wisconsin, while we have some 60s from Baraboo through Lone Rock all the way down through Monroe. But the winds, just like yesterday, have been gusty out of the south and west. We've already had gusts in excess of 20 miles an hour. Mineral Point has seen a gust of 30 as we've worked through the morning hours. As we head into the afternoon, a slow but steady decrease in the cloud cover should make it to around 70 degrees as we head into this evening. Not to worry, we do have a nice warm up and more sunshine as we head into the weekend. All those details coming up in a few minutes. Christine?
Brian, thank you. New at 11, former President Jimmy Carter opened up for the first time about his battle with cancer. The 90-year-old revealed earlier he had a small mass removed from his liver this month, but doctors then found something more.
They did a biopsy and found that they did an MRI and found that there were 4 spots of melanoma on my brain. They are very small spots, about 2 millimeters, if you can envision what a millimeter is. And I'll get my first radiation treatment for the melanoma in my brain this afternoon.
And we will be thinking of him then. Carter said this all started back in May when he felt sick while he was in Guyana to monitor an election. Also new for you at 11, $10 million. That's how much the state will pay a Spanish manufacturer for 2 trains that were never used after Governor Scott Walker abandoned that rail project. It settles a lawsuit Talgo Inc. filed in 2012 over the trains it made to run between Milwaukee and Chicago. Talgo's attorney said the company keeps the titles to the trains and gets $9.75 million from the state to close the contract. Talgo will try to sell the trains, and if that happens for the right price, the state could recover the cost of this settlement. We'll get an idea today of just how Governor Walker's campaign is doing here in Wisconsin. The latest Marquette University Law School poll will be released, and we're going to learn how the state feels about the presidential campaign and where Walker stands among the candidates. The poll will also give an early read on Russ Feingold's rematch with Republican Senator Ron Johnson. A 13-year-old has some explaining to do after getting behind the wheel of a car and causing a hit-and-run accident in Monroe. This happened around 10 last night on the 1500 block of 14th Avenue and involved a teenage girl. Now, details of the accident and the extent of the victim's injuries have not been released. The man accused of shooting at cars on the Beltline appeared in court this morning for his arraignment. That's 29-year-old Adam Strode. He allegedly shot at 2 cars on the Beltline in July. No one was hurt, but police say one shot missed a woman by less than 10 inches. Police have not determined a motive. Around the nation now, 3 firefighters are dead in Washington state, killed battling fierce wildfires that are burning out of control. High winds are fueling the flames and forcing more evacuations. NBC's Leanne Gregg is in Washington with the latest.
The latest wildfire that erupted in Washington state is being described by the local sheriff as a hellstorm. Erratic flames fueled by high winds broke out Wednesday and quickly multiplied in size, threatening 2 small towns.
I'm hoping when we go back, our house is still there.
More than 1,000 people were evacuated from the towns of Twisp and Winthrop. Residents had little time to get out.
It just came so fast. I mean, oh my God. I mean, the smoke and just the big plumes of smoke.
3 U.S. Forest Service firefighters were killed after their vehicle crashed and they were overcome by flames. 4 other firefighters were injured, 1 critically. 15 wildfires are burning out of control in Washington state, and the forecast isn't helping. Sustained winds of more than 40 miles an hour are predicted. Officials described the fire as a sleeping giant that will be awakened today by an epic wind event.
It's gotten insane, and the wind doesn't go in one direction. It keeps shifting, and it keeps going one way and then the other way.
1 million acres have already burned across the West, with no end in sight. Leanne Gregg, NBC News, near Petraeus, Washington.
An early morning crash and fire lit up the night sky over Detroit this morning. Take a look here. A gasoline tanker truck crashed on I-75. This was around 3 this morning. Authorities say it appears the tanker struck the median before bursting into flames. The driver was critically injured. No other cars were involved. The interstate was closed for a time as crews cleared the wreckage. And now to new developments in that closely watched trial in New Hampshire where a teenager said she was raped by an older student at an elite prep school. After dramatic testimony today, she'll then be cross-examined. NBC's Gabe Gutierrez reports.
This morning, Owen Labrie returns to court. His accuser facing more cross-examination after an emotional day of questioning.
I couldn't think of anything else. I felt like I was frozen.
We're disguising her voice and not showing the 16-year-old's face. In a packed courtroom, defense attorney J.W. Carney showed the jury emails and Facebook messages, arguing they suggest the accuser willingly met up with the then 18-year-old Labrie the night she says he raped her.
That was your choice, right?
In the end, that was my choice.
And in one exchange, after the alleged assault, Labrie writes, "You're an angel." The girl responds, "You're quite an angel yourself."
I was afraid of him coming after me again.
Carney also questioned her as to why it was important for the girl to keep their meeting a secret.
I didn't want any misconstrued ideas. I didn't want any falsifications. I wanted him to keep it as a secret.
The tense cross-examination and effort by the defense to prove that Labrie, who has pleaded not guilty to sexual assault and other charges, did not have intercourse with the accuser and that the encounter was consensual. Prosecutors say it was part of a school tradition called the Senior Salute, where older students asked out younger ones just before graduation.
It's important that the jurors know all about the Senior Salute and the fact that it's been a tradition for so long at St. Paul's School that it would be entirely unfair to put the blame on a single student for engaging in it.
Earlier Wednesday, the accuser told the jury that when she agreed to meet Labrie, she expected only kissing. Initially, she says she did not stop his advances.
Why didn't you say anything?
I didn't want to come off as an inexperienced little girl.
But then she says he went too far, even though she said no 3 times.
I didn't want any of this. I was so confused. I didn't know what else I could do.
And that was Gabe Gutierrez reporting. Now, citing a police affidavit, the defense asked the alleged victim whether she had discussed with a friend what she was prepared to do with him during that encounter, to which the girl responded she did not recall that conversation.